All right, so today we have Leroy on, and he is one of the newest students in the AUM training program. So, Leroy, would you go ahead and introduce yourself and state where you're from, occupation, if you don't mind?
Um, my name is Leroy Carlton. I'm currently living in Richmond, Virginia. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I am currently a financial professional.
Awesome, awesome. And so, Leroy, how long you been in the business?
I've been in the business for about 2 years.
Awesome, awesome. And so, what were you doing before that?
Before that, I was military,
Okay.
30 years.
Oh wow. Well, we definitely appreciate your service. What what made you transition into financial services?
I was always intrigued about finances and, living in the inner city, there was never information that was freely given to us. I watched my dad live paycheck to paycheck, you know, and we were on welfare as well. So, we had assistance, food stamps, all that good stuff. And, you know, being in that type of situation, I've always wanted more. I always wanted to be that person with the big house, the nice cars, the nice clothes. I ain't a flashy person because I could care less about that, but I always wanted to be comfortable, never wanting to be rich, just wanting to be comfortable. Where if I take money from here to do something for me, I don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, am I have enough money to pay this bill? You know, so being in the military, you were never given the opportunity, even in the military, to learn about finances. So once I went to school and got a degree in finance and business logistics, even then, until I got into the field, there was still a lot of stuff I did not know. And so that just intrigued me to help people who was, I'll say, less fortunate to have that information and to know how to build wealth, as well as put themselves in a situation down the road where they're able to enjoy life the way that they should.
Got it. Yeah, and I think that's very interesting. So it sounds like kind of coming from humble beginnings, really, and transcending a little bit of that with some favor, but also hard work. Sounds like you cultivated this passion to want to help and educate people after you served and protected, and now you have translated that over into the financial services industry. So, um, what's kind of been your success of like, or what's been? Let me take a step back. What's kind of been um, the journey that you've taken as a financial service professional? What have you been seeking to try to achieve?
Well, my particular goals always have been to help the smaller family. And what I mean by that, companies like Fisher Investments, Charles Schwab, Edward Jones, T. Rowe Price, you name them. These companies really wouldn't talk to you unless you have at least $250,000 in your portfolio. Now, I called Fisher Investments one day just to see how their system worked. And the first thing that the guy said to me was, well, Mr. Carlton, do you have $250,000 in your portfolio? So at that particular time, I didn't, but I told him, well, I have more than that, but what difference do that make? He said, well, we won't even set an appointment with you if you don't even have that in your account. I said, so if I'm just a regular family and I'm just clearing over $40,000 a year, are you telling me that there's no way you can help me build wealth on just what I'm making? He was like, no, we can't. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I hung the phone up. Now that intrigued me even more to want to do what I'm doing, as well as help the military, because you have a person that's in the military that served 20 years. He's getting retirement. He may get disability if anything should have happened to him while he was in, but it's not giving the information to that person that once he gets out, he has to wait anywhere from 6 months to a year before he can even receive his disability. So if you don't have anything lined up prior to getting out, you're screwed. So just think, you have a family, you have a house, you have a car payment. If you don't have nothing lined up, you're screwed. But if I could show you a way for you to build wealth while you're in, or if you're just a regular family, and I can show you how to build wealth with the money that you're making, down the line, when you get out of the military or when you decide to stop working, you'll be straight. Because now you have all this money, you can live the life you want to live and carry on.
Got it. Yeah, and so it sounds like you've kind of figured out how to help people that because everybody needs help, right? So you just found a common ground to be able to help people that get overlooked. So can we just talk a little bit more about how you're able to help them?
Well, when you think of life insurance, when I ask a person that question, the first thing that automatically comes out is, uh, that's something I need in case I die. So people don't realize that a life insurance policy is an avenue to build wealth. Why they don't know that? Because that information is not put out to people. That just people just think life insurance is just something I use if I die. It's not a burden on my family. But life insurance does so many things that people really don't know about. So when I bring to them index universal life, for one, when I bring that to people and I explain how it works and how you can build wealth through this vessel, they find it hard to believe. So I'll sit down with the client, I'll go through all their finances, I'll look at where all their money is going, I'll tell them where they can cut back, where they can gain. And if they do this, this is how much money we'll have when they decide to stop working. And when they see stuff like this, they're just amazed. And the first question to me then is, how come I never knew about this? Don't feel bad. You're not the only person who didn't know about this. So it's my job to put that information out to the masses.
Got it. So you're an IUL specialist, pretty much.
Yes.
Awesome. And so why is that investment part important to you when people say that they don't that why they never heard about this, why have you made that a passion to share that message with so many people?
Because I didn't know about it. And once I found out about it, I just look at how it can help so many people. And what I mean by that, okay, say you have a person that's only making $40,000 a year. They have no idea that they can build wealth because no one has ever come to them and say, hey, this is what you need to do. So I'm looking at your finances, I'm looking at what you're making, and I say to you, okay, let's do this. Something you can clearly do every month that won't hinder anything that you're currently doing right now. But you never think that you could do this. So if I could set it up where this money will disappear before you even get paid, you will do it because you know that money is going there. The only thing I ask that once you see your money start building, don't touch it. Because I had a couple clients that did that. They saw their money, they saw how fast it was building. And when you see a lot of money, the first thing you think is, oh, I need a new car, or can get me some new stuff, or you just think of a whole bunch of stuff you want that you really don't need, because you have to think down the line. And so to see the expression on a person's face after you help them, that's priceless. You can't get that nowhere else. That's why I do it.
Got it. And so, like, that's a great story. I'm so happy to be on this call, man. That was very enlightening, and it just makes me feel good to see that I'm connecting people like you, that out there doing good and really doing what's in the best interest of the clients. Makes me, know that I'm in my purpose to connect with somebody like you, that I know that you're out there trying to spread a message. So I'm just happy to be able to help you facilitate that. So let's kind of transition into that. How did you come across me or hear anything about me?
Well, I'm not always on Facebook, but I just happened to be on Facebook one particular day because I'm sitting back thinking about how can I transform my business to be more than what it is? How can I reach more people? And we've done everything. I mean, we went to marketing directors, we did stuff on LinkedIn, we did, you name it, we did it.
And when you say we, who do you
And
mean we?
me and my wife. And we lost a lot of money because stuff we were doing with certain people, nothing was coming through. And but you're waiting for this money every month, but we're not getting the results we need to get from you. And so we was getting to the point where, okay, we just need to find something new. Then I go on Facebook one particular day and I ran across you. So I clicked on it and you come up and you's talking about your company. And what drew me to you is the fact that you were an agent. So you know the grind. You know everything that agents go through. That's what drew me to you. So I said, you know what? I'm looking at your stuff. I'm reading your stuff. And I say, you know what? I need to get this dude a shout out. Let me give him a shot. So I did. Now, after talking to one of your people, I talked to him probably for about an hour, and he was telling me all about it. And he said, if you're still unsure, I'll set up an appointment with you and you can talk to him. And I said, cool. Yeah, let's do that. So he did. And I got to talk to you, listening to you, and then how you convey that information to my wife, because you
Yeah.
knew.
I knew that once you mentioned her, like you said, we, I was like, well, who's the we? And then you said your wife. I was like, time out.
Yeah.
I need to speak to her. I was like, it sounds like I'm talking to the wrong person, right? I was joking about that, but I was like, I think I need to speak to the decision maker. And finally, yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. She finally came and sat down, and it was a good conversation. And ultimately, we found at the end of that conversation that it made sense at that point. And so, yeah, that was good. And so I know you only been in the program for just a little bit, but would you mind just kind of sharing what your experience has been so far?
Oh man. After I went through your video and I got everything set up, and I think I called you because it was a few things that I wasn't too sure about, but you came in, you did your thing on it, and then put the card in there and got everything set up, and I waited. And it took about 24 hours, because Facebook had to do their part on their end. And once that happened, then all of the leads start coming in. So I called a couple of the leads, and some was wrong numbers. Some I was getting a lot of voicemail, but I didn't get discouraged. I just said the one I got the voicemails, I'll call back. The leads still coming in. So now I'm at 40 leads and 20 appointments. Matter of fact, I have like 3 or 4 after this. So it's a beautiful thing. I love it because it don't stop. It's just constantly coming. But it takes a little bit And you have to be at a point where if you don't see them coming right away, just be patient. Because I know a lot of people ain't patient. You want it to be like right now. Okay, I just set this up. I set this up. Okay, where my leads at?
Right.
And I understand that comes from if you were with somebody else and you wasn't getting the results, that's where that comes from.
Right. So when you're
So
saying being patient, it's what you're really only waiting, what, 48 hours? It's not like it's a
40,
week.
and if that, and for me, it wasn't even that. It was probably less than 24 hours because once this started coming in, I got like 10 leads right off the bat.
And these are IUL
And
leads,
then
right? Yeah. So it's,
yeah,
yeah,
and
so
then
it's
shortly
different.
after that, I started getting more. So when I put it up on the Facebook, hey, 33 leads, 13 appointments, you know, I got people from your site, you know, dropping me messages now. Hey, you're doing an IUL? Hey, can I talk to you? How are you making this work? Well, it ain't that. It's that I hooked into your system. Your system is bringing me the leads. I ain't walking around knocking on no doors. I ain't cold calling, all that stuff. I'll send an email. I may send a text. My wife, usually the ones that will call the people. And when they hear, hey, this is Dr. Tomico Carlton, I'm returning the call because you requested information on the ad that you saw. Then they be like, oh, yeah, yeah. What can you tell me about the IUL and building wealth and all that? And it goes from there. And then she bring them to me. And then I'm on the Zoom talking to the client. That make life so much easier. I
Yeah.
cannot complain. I cannot complain.
Yeah. And that's great because when you're at this position, right, you don't realize how many people are searching, right, like you were, that are thirsty for a process like this, but they still have that
Yes.
old paradigm that they're kind of scared, like, is this really going to work for you? So then they want to reach out to you. So there will be some agents that see this and that are, kind of at that point where they're kind of stuck in this 2021 and they grinded all last year and they kind of fell short. But this is a new year and a new opportunity, right? So what would you say to those agents that are out there, just barely kind of getting through and they're about 3 to 6 months from having to go and get that second job and kind of quitting, because I remember being there and they need to make a decision. They need to make a good one. And they're kind of on the fence and they're
Mhm.
thinking about using a program like this. What would you say to them?
Oh man. Well, I will say for me, 2020 wasn't a bad year. I did okay in 2020. But I had the mindset that 2021 is going to be my year. This is going to take my business to a whole new stratosphere and it's going to put me and my wife where I want us to be. So coming to you was probably one of the best decisions I've made. Now, I was never hesitant on doing it, but I know my wife, she's a person that wants to research, you know. So, and I don't make a decision without her. That's that's just a gimme. But if you're on the fence and you're an agent that's been kind of struggling, wondering, man, where am I get my next client? The pandemic's going on. I can't really knock on people's door. I'm at a point where I don't know what to do. Well, I'll make it easy for you. Get off the fence, join the program, and you'll see a difference in your business. You know, don't hesitate on it because the longer you hesitate, the more complicated it's going to be. It's going to get for you to make a decision, and you just ultimately going to just lose your business and get another 9 to 5, which I know agents really don't want to do because if you're passionate about this, and for me, it ain't even about the money. It's about helping families. That's what it's all about. The money will come. It's about helping families. So if that's what your passion is, because you always say, let's find your niche. I remember when you said that to me. What is your niche? Well, I already knew what my niche was. I just needed you to help me enhance that. And you did. So for anybody that's on the fence, I recommend you come into the program. And it's 3 ways you could pay. I chose my way that best fit my company and fit me. And you will not be disappointed at all. It would definitely help your business.
Awesome. Well, Leroy, definitely grateful for having you to be a part of the program, because we're definitely going to be leaning on some of your expertise in the group. As people are already coming to you, we're going to have you speaking in our Rainmaker call next week on Thursday. So that'll be exciting
Okay.
for you to help us out. So, this community is growing in more ways, because there's a lot of people that want to get into IULs, but they don't really know how to position it. And so, if you were to see this video and you're really trying to get into that and you want the leads, but you also want somebody that's a specialist like Leroy, definitely be able to help you out with that. So, again, Leroy, thank you for hopping on this call. Hope you have a phenomenal rest of the month, and I just look forward to working with you, because I know there's big things to come.
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. And definitely God bless.
Awesome.